And greetings everybody, and welcome to another JeSter Reviews. Well, this is not so much as a review as so much as an overview. So, what I would like to do today is give you a brief overview of what being part of a fleet can do for you. Now, this will not be by any stretch of the imagination a comprehensive overview. It will be a very brief overview of what your fleet can give you, and if I can touch upon some bits and pieces which I think you might find useful, we'll do that. And as time progresses, I think what we will do is I will return to the individual fleet holdings and do a more comprehensive overview. And obviously I will need your help for that, so if any of you would like to make comments about it, which will help me to put together a more comprehensive overview, I'm happy to return to that and look at that. So today I've come to my main fleet base, and as you can see, it's fully equipped. Bar, disco, even fish tank, look. Yes, Captain Picard would be jealous. Now, there are various flaws to this fleet starbase, which I'm not going to go into every one of them, but we'll do a brief overview of what you can actually get from your fleet starbase. But there is quite a lot more to look into, but we'll be here all day if I were to touch upon them, and I hope to look at them in more depth later. Oops, we're going in the wrong direction. This is the one we want to be in. And here we go. So, in your fleet starbase, you go to your basement boutique. Turn on the hood. You can get fleet space supplies. Looking at your store. And here you can get fleet weapons. Damage ×3. Personally, I like crit D ×3 myself, but damage and crit D ×3 is not so bad. Yeah, damage ×3. So there we go. We can get cannons and beam weapons of various flavors. Anti-proton, disruptor, with decent damage ×3 modifiers. Engines. Now, as I say, this is not by any stretch of the imagination a comprehensive overview. So some people may feel that fleet engines not very good, or fleet shields not very good. That's entirely up to you. It is your personal choice, whatever your build is going to be. I'm just here to show you where they are, basically. So here we got some shields, advanced fleet resilient shield, deflectors, weapons. I think you get the general idea, really. Procs weapons, that's quite good, isn't it? I might come back here and have a look at that, actually. Yeah, I actually prefer, as I say, either crit 3 damage with a proc. That'd be nice. And you could get them and try and re-engineer them, and that's a different subject altogether. So we'll cover the re-engineering of things later. But anyhow, elite engines, elite shields, elite deflectors, and hangar pets. And these are quite cool, aren't they? Hangar elite tactical flyer squadrons. Yeah. Might come back for them, actually. So, there we go. Right, moving on to the next station, which is the Tailor. Which is basically stands for itself, really, doesn't it? Quickly go in. And it does basically what it does on Earth, so decent stuff here that you can pick up. Odyssey excursion uniform. I might have a look into that actually. Right, so moving on over here. Operations Quartermaster, X-Comp drone, Fleet Tetrian turret, boosts, basic training, there we go, and we'll move over here to the ground supplies officer, and here you can buy elite phaser stun pistol, damage 2, that's quite cool, isn't it? Pistols, rifles of various flavours, again, armour, shields, and many more. Melee, yeah, there we go. Right, as I said, there is a lot more to your fleet base than just the bargain basement, and what we'll do, we'll cover the rest of the areas later, but I want to do a quick skirt round and just show you the benefits of participating in being in a fleet. Now, another interesting adaptation of being in a fleet is being able to transwarp all over the map. So if you click on here, look, you can either beam to ship, return to sector, transwarp to colony world, transport to other fleet holdings. So for transport to the fleet holdings, let's have a look. So here we've got Fleet Embassy, Dilithium Mine, Fleet Spire, and K13. Right, so what we'll do is we'll go to the Fleet Spire, because that's another interesting fleet holding which we can explore, which I'd like to show you as well. So to save you time transwarping all over the place, you can quickly get there by just simply clicking on Transport to Fleet Spire, and away we go. So here we are at your Fleet Spire, and to just give you a rough idea of how far we've travelled in just a few seconds, this is where we were, your fleet base, and this is where we are now. So that saved us a little bit of time, hasn't it? So we talk to traffic control and we dock at the Spire. So here we are. This is your Fleet Spire. Now again, this is just a very brief overview, and this overview is designed for people to make comments, and what we'll do is we'll return to these fleet holdings later and explore in detail some of the other issues which people may raise. But this is just to bring your attention to what you can actually use in your fleet. So as we progress through the Spire, again we have a tailor, which basically stands for itself, doesn't it? And this is an interesting one, requisition of personnel. Voth duty officers, there we go. And as we progress, now you'll notice that depending on what tier your base is at, you can do various things. So open balcony doors, this is cool, isn't it? Yeah, so if you want some fresh air, you can step out onto the Spire doors and yeah, do a bit of jumping. That makes your fingers tingle, doesn't it? Looking down like that and doing all this stuff. Okay. What about this? Woo. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, there you go. That's enough fun for today. Better tie this up. I don't want to get into trouble with my close the balcony doors. I don't want to get into trouble with my bosses in the fleet. leaving the doors open. So moving back, what's down here? Let's have a quick overview down here. So you can get access to your mail. Access to your bank. What does this do? Oh, the overhead array. That's interesting. Oh, better leave it. I've found it, haven't I? Actually, no, that's quite nice, that, isn't it? Yeah, I'll leave that as is. Moving around here. Access to the exchange. There we go. I do like these little adaptations. These stairs all pop out. Look, can you see them? There we go, look. It's quite cool, isn't it? We've been round the other side. What's round there? What is this? Deactivate array. Oh, there we go, look. So we activate the array. Oh, we can deactivate the array. I mean, that looks really cool, doesn't it? Right, so moving on. Now then, this is a very important chappie, because you'll have heard things as we go on through the game called relating to consoles such as vulnerability locators or exploiters, and this is where you will get your vulnerability locator. So as you can see, these vulnerability locators, if you reach a certain level in your fleet, you'll receive a discount for them. So you got disruptor, vulnerability locator, phaser, and here you have vulnerability exploiters. Now you'll also be able to pick up fleet warp cores. Now again, I'm not going to advise you on what the best warp core to buy, because there's quite a lot of contradictory information out there, and you'll have to do your own homework, I'm afraid. I mean, I was led to believe that the best ones to buy are fleet warp cores with AMP, and some have given me different advice, so I'm not going to get into all that just yet. And also there is other fleet holdings where you can also buy fleet warp cores. So for example, in your dilithium mine, you'll be able to pick up fleet advanced warp cores, and again there is a bit of an issue going on at present as to whether the dilithium mine fleet warp cores or the fleet spire warp cores are the best ones to get. So yeah, I don't want to get too bogged down into all the ins and outs, and no doubt what we'll do is we'll probably return to this subject later as people make comments and let us know, but I'm only here just to show you where to get them. So here we are. We have elite fleet warp cores, and you have the singularity cores for your Romulan ships, and your elite fleet singularity cores rather. Spire hangar pets, here we go. Atmospheric flight training, there we go. So this little chappie here is most important, basically for your vulnerability locators and your exploiters. So you'll hear a lot about that in your journey in Star Trek Online, about exploiters and locators, and this is where you will come to get them. Here you can pick up ships, your ships, which ones you want. Requisition a ship. So we've spoken about fleet ships, and here they are. And we have another ground equipment officer here. And you can pick up tactical kits. modules, engineering kits. Yep. So, as I say, this is not by any stretch of the imagination a comprehensive overview. It's just a brief familiarisation, and that wasn't an easy word to say, was it, of what your fleet spire can provide. So if we go back to traffic control, let's have a look what we're going to do here. Is there any other? Yeah, so we'll have a quick look at K13, shall we? So here we are at another one of your fleet holdings, which is K13. And this is another interesting little fleet base, and just to show you where we are here in the grand scheme of things, we have now moved from here all the way, where are we, to here. That was quite cool, wasn't it? It's a fair old distance, that, isn't it? So what can we get here? Let's dock and have a look. I really do like this fleet base, I'll be honest with you. It does hark back to the original Star Trek designs, and I really do like it. It's quite cool, isn't it? Very retro. So what we'll start first with, if you come down here, go right, and head up here, is it? In here? There we go. We have some interesting places you can visit. The store. Now here you can buy some consoles. Now, I have picked up some of these in the past. I have intended on testing them out, just to do a review on them later. But anyway, we won't go into them in depth. But yeah, these are interesting little doohickeys, aren't they? And this is where you can pick them up. So these consoles say, let's have a look, see what they give us. Xenotech resilience modules work in conjunction with your ship's shields to allow for greater resistances, while also reducing the recharge of bridge officer and specialist abilities. So there you go. Console engineering Xenotech. What's that one? This skill reflects the percentage of incoming damage that your starship shields absorb or negate each time they prevent damage from reaching your hull. This has no effect on the amount of damage that bleeds through your shields. So yeah, so there's various consoles here that do different things. Once again, I'll let you do your homework whether these are good ideas or not. I'm just here just to show you where they are. Now this chap, now this is a really interesting one, because in your traits, if I can find them, where are my traits? Here we go. So in your traits, you'll notice things like superior beam training. Now you buy the superior beam training from this officer here on K13, and this is very useful. So I've picked up superior beam training and superior cannon training as well. But there's various other ones that you can pick up here as well. And yeah, I would strongly recommend that you do that, because this is quite a good trait. Although, you know, I think it increased it from 5% to 7.5. Yes, it does. Bonus beam weapon damage. So the old beam training was, I think, 5%. This boosts it to 7.5. So you may as well get it. It's you know, and if you've got the, you know, discount, you may as well. It's worth it, isn't it? It's 21,000 dilithium, or 21,250, or 25,000 without the discount. But that very much depends on what tier your fleet is. So yeah, This is why you must contribute to your fleets as they're building up, because if you don't contribute, you can't draw from the well. And yeah, and pick up some decent things. So that's that. So let's move on from here. Now you do have a little map up here if you get lost. I always get lost on fleet bases. So here we can go tailor, retrofit equipment, requisition. So we'll have a quick look around there, see if I can find my way around. I'll just blow this map up a little bit so we see where we're going. Right, so head off round here. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry about that. But do you know you have a ball patch there? Yeah, anyway. I think you have a ball patch. Anyway. Moving in here. So what do we have here? Talk to retrofit equipment requisitions. That's a right mouthful, isn't it? Anyway, let's have a look. Advanced Fleet Federation Type 1 phaser. Damage times 3. Oh, I might actually come back in and have a look at these. Damage times 3. You could re-roll that, get a damage times 4. Wonder if they do a crit D times 3. Anyway, obviously I'm getting all interested in that now without... anyway, moving on. And here we have Advanced Fleet Single Phaser Beam Arrays. Again with a modifier of damage times 3. It's intriguing, isn't it? Damage times 3. Right, well, before I get into all that, because yeah, there's quite a lot of things you can look at here. Phaser cannons. Blue phaser cannons, that's quite cool, isn't it? Damage times 3. You see, I'm getting sucked into it now, aren't I? I'm getting sucked into it, so we'll leave that there now. And tailor. Wonder what the tailor store's offering. Oh, XO3 outfit, jumpsuit. Now that's something I didn't know. So each individual fleet holding has their own individual outfit, tailor outfit. So yeah, I didn't realise that. So that's another one I'm going to have to look at. And personnel officer. So what do we get here? All right, Andrea type, Android engineering candidate. Yes, I got that a while ago. For another character. What we got here? Research lab scientist, rare duty officers, fabrication engineer. So for an Oxtabat builder. Very rare duty officers. So that will come in handy for an Oxtabat builder, fabrication engineer. I think that's the Oxtabat one. Training manuals. Now here's another little thing that I've picked up just lately. I've been looking on the exchange, and you can see people selling training manuals, ones, you know, and they're selling them in between 20,000 DC. If you go back to Earthsol and go just below Admiral Quinn's office, there's a chap there that sells them for 5,000 DC. So don't be too keen to buy training manuals on the exchange when you can actually get them cheaper under the Admiral's office. In fact, I did a little bit of a test myself. I actually bought some training manuals. I think it was beam. What was it? Tactical beam fire, and I bought 1s and 2s, and I actually stuck them on for a couple of thousand more than what I paid for them, and they went like hotcakes. So people are not seeing where you can actually pick these up from. So like here, you can pick them up at your fleet base, or you can pick them up from just under Admiral Quinn's office on the bottom floor there, and you can pick up duty officers as well down there. So just be mindful of that, because as you can see there, It's 2,500 fleet credits. On the exchange, you can see these going for silly money, like 10,000 EC, when you can just go below Admiral Quinn's office and pick them up. I'll have to figure out which one's the best, actually, whether there's any difference between buying them here for 2,500 fleet credits or spending the same amount of EC. I think the 5,000 EC, but yeah, I'll have to think about that. See which, what the benefit is of purchasing from the fleet or from Earthsol. But anyway, there you go. Right, so I like these old noises as well, do you? They're really cool, aren't they? So we won't stay here too much. Let's have another wander around here. Yeah, if we wander back in here, I mean, just look at all these retro colours in here. This is fabulous, isn't it? It's really cool. I can't help but wonder whether we lost something in the original designs from the original Star Trek. But anyhow, so here we have Docking Master. What does he do? Alright, so he's looking at our ships. Right, okay. What does this one do? Duty officer assignments. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. And here we have Officer of the Watch. Now, what does he do? Alright, okay, right. So what we'll do now is we'll return to our fleet starbase, because it doesn't give us the option of shooting all over the galaxy, I'm afraid. Right, so here we are back at our main fleet base. So we're going to talk to Transporter. And other fleet holdings. What else is there? Fleet Embassy. Let's go there. So here we are at the Fleet Federation Embassy. As you can see, it's our Romulan embassy. And this is also quite a cool place to pick stuff up. Now again, this is only a basic overview, so I only aim to show you what you can pick up and where you can pick them up. So if I've missed anything, please drop me a line, let me know, and we'll revisit these embassies and do a bit of a more comprehensive overview of them. So anyway, so Requisition space equipment here. What we got here? We have decreases threat generation by 56.3%. Well, right, so science plasma generating weapon signature nullifier. Now I've since read that when these first came out, they were quite good consoles, but since then they've all been nerfed significantly. So, but I'm not into threat generation, so anyway, it's entirely up to you. I'm just to show you where they are. Hull repair consoles. Decreases threat generation. What that means is nobody will want to shoot at you. By 56.3% while active. Another amplifier. Increases threat generation. Why would you want threat increase generation, I can hear you say? Well, in some cases, if you want to be a tank, that means absorb all the fire that comes at you in a PvP, while everyone is concentrating on you, because your ship is all wired up to with high resistances and shields and one thing and another. While you're absorbing all that energy, your colleagues are running around killing things, and while you tank and heal. So that's basically why you would want to be generating a significant amount of threat. Shield emitter consoles. Let's have a look at this. Increases threat generation 127% or thereabouts. Improved control effects. Yeah, as I say, I've got one of these consoles on another character, and I don't really rate them. I'm not keen, to be honest with you, but anyhow, it's entirely up to you. I'm just here to signpost you. Requisition consumables. What's here? Active duty officer assignment slot. Okay. Commodities. There we go. Requisition of ground equipment. And this is what I was talking about earlier on, where there's a little bit of overlap between the fleet holdings. So you'll notice there's a tactical kit here, plasma grenade, engineering kits, science kits, some science modules, tactical modules. No engineering modules, is there? Oh yes, there is. Engineering kit module, beam turret. There we go. In actual fact, I think we'll come back to this one. Let's have a look at this one. Requisition of consumables. +1 active duty officer assignment slot. Alright, I think I'll come back for that later. Right, so, moving on then. So, we're going to turbo lift to ops, because there's something there I want to show you. Look at this, isn't this cool? If you come down here, look. Right down here. Look, you see, right down to the ground floor. Yeah, there you go, look. Let's hope the ceiling's sturdy enough. I wouldn't want to go through there, would you? It'd be a hell of a journey. Right, so, anyway. Let's move on up here. So here we have some more consoles for you to look at. Taylor. Who's not in at present, looking at that. Requisition. There we go. Fleet Romulan Bird of Prey reinforcements. Fleet Mogai escort reinforcements. Deradex reinforcements. That's quite cool, isn't it? And then moving on here. Requisition of duty officers. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have room for those. So you can request personnel as well. So we'll move on. Now this console is a really interesting one. Now if you remember in some of my previous reviews we've spoken about improving your critical chance and critical severity, and this is where you pick up officers who will do that for you. So for example, here we go, we've got a Romulan male tactical officer which you can pick up for 17,000 dilithium and 80,000 fleet credits. There you go. Superior Romulan operative plus crit and crit severity, reduced cloak cooldown. So you can pick up that chappie, and you can pick up a female Romulan officer, and that does the same. Now then, as we go down, so now then I was led to believe that, let's go up a little bit. Ah right, yes, so you can pick up 2 green Romulan tactical officers for 8,500 each dilithium and 40,000 fleet credits, or you can come down and get the elite tactical officers, and I've been told that's quite a good buy actually, so I've been I may come back and do that, but this is where you get them from, and this will increase your critical chance and critical severity. And mine are here, look. Crit and crit severity, reduce cloak cooldown, and my second Romulan operative, again, there you go, in their traits. So those are my two. So yeah, I could go up to the elite ones. I've been told to go to the elite ones, and yeah, I'll have a look at that at some point in time. So that's where you get them from. If your fleet has reached the sufficient tiers to for you to access them, this is where you'll get them from. Right, so we'll move down now to the lobby. Yes, are you a little small for a stormtrooper? Or anyway, better not. And let's go to the lobby and have a look down here. So here you go, look, that's where we've just been standing, up in ops. And if we move over here, excuse me, thank you, thank you. Here we go. So you get access to the exchange here. That's cool, isn't it? Let's go through here, see what's in here. Oh, that must be stairways. And here we have a meeting room. Now I have been to some fleet meetings where we've used this table, and yeah, I've had thoughts of doing a Christmas review here, obviously with the fire in the background. Yes, quite warm, isn't it? That's nice. Oh yes, nothing like a nice warm fire, is there? Anyway, moving on. So here we've got a bartender, and chief. Thank you. Sorry about that. That's very rude of me, wasn't it? But, and up here, I think they're the stairs leading to ops actually, so we won't go up there. I'd say, once again, just to reiterate, it's a very, very brief overview, and as I pick up comments on this, I'll probably revisit these areas again. So that's mail, and the bank. Anything down here? Have I missed anything? Yeah, there's more stairs. What's in here? Oh yeah, it's another meeting room. That's quite cool, isn't it? So that's a very, very brief tour of the fleet embassy. So what we'll do is now, unfortunately at the Romulan embassy I may have missed something out here, because it's not letting me transwarp to any other fleet holdings. So what I'll do now is I'll return to my ship, and I'll go to another fleet holding, and we'll do another brief overview there. So just give me a moment, and I shall just see you momentarily. So this is another fleet holding, and this is your fleet research lab. And again, there's quite a lot to find here. We've got the basics as we go down. Let's bring back the HUD, the exchange, your bank, and your mail. But you can also pick up things like the R&D project slots. So in your R&D here, you normally you can work up to 5 slots. So if you want a 6th, this is where you buy it from. That's that. And then as we move along, so here, kit modules. Again, more kit modules here, fleet modules. secondary deflector store. So this could be quite good because I need a decent secondary deflector. Anyway. I'll have to come back and have a look at them. So there's your secondary deflectors. Is there anything up here? It's a bit steep, isn't it? There's nothing I can see up here. Oh, what's this one? There's one here, look. Duty officer's store. Fleet Crenham researcher. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I think we might pick one of them up, I think. Yeah, we'll pick one of them up. And bridge officers. Crenham bridge officer candidate. Oh, you could get lost all day shopping up here, couldn't you? I think I'd be bitten by the bug. Right, so moving on. So what else is there to explore around here? Have we got them all? Oh no, here we are. Another one. Another area to explore. What is this one? Kit frame stores. Get some kit frames. You've got your engineering, your science, your tactical. Moving on to here, science consoles. That's cool, isn't it? Science console, science restorative particle focuser. What does that do? Exotic particle. Oh right, that's cool, isn't it? Oh, yes, I'll have to come back in and study these in depth. Any more? I wonder if there's any on the other floor. Let's have a look. Anything up here? No. Right, so we'll call that a day. Oof, right. Oops. Can't get out. Got in. Now I can't get out. Oh, I've lost my bearings. I'm over here, look. Dear me. Over here, look. Okay. So I think the most important areas that you'd be interested in is this console here. Right, so this will be your most important console I feel to come for, because what you can get here, which I've neglected to mention earlier, is it not only gives you your extra R&D slot, but it also gives you an extra trait. So you get your starship trait, your space requisition trait, ground reputation trait. So you get the extra slot here. Now it's not cheap, not by any stretch of the imagination, but it is quite a useful place to come to get that extra 5th slot, or 6th slot if you're looking at R&D stuff. So let's move on to the other 2 fleet holdings which I'm interested in looking at, which is the Fleet Colony and the Fleet Dilithium Mine. Now I think we can only go back to the main fleet starbase here. Return to sector space, transport to fleet starbase. So yes, what we'll do is we'll go back to the fleet starbase. So if any of you are interested where we are in the grand scheme of things, we have now come to here. So we're actually in the Delta sector, and we've travelled all the way from here basically. So we're going to travel back here, and then we'll go on to the Fleet Colony and the dilithium Fleet Dilithium Mine, which is here, and I believe the Fleet Colony is it up here somewhere? I think it's up here somewhere. So anyhow, now then, just in case you're wondering, if you're a KDF player, your fleet starbase is here, and what I'll try and do for KDF players, I'll try and look into all your individual fleet holdings as well as to where they are, because I do have a KDF character, but I haven't been playing it for very long. I've got it up to 65 on the skill ladder, but I haven't visited all the fleet holdings, the KDF fleet holdings, so I'm very unfamiliar with that. So bear with me, I will come back to you and have a look at that. So I'm very much aware of time, and now it's all dragging on because this turned from an overview to an epic overview, hasn't it? So what we'll do is we'll go back to the fleet starbase, and then what I'll do is I'll meet you at the fleet mine. So I'll be with you in just a second. So here we are at the fleet dilithium holdings base. So if we come down to here, look, we have this little chap here, and he sells warp cores and singularity cores. Now there are cores of various types, and I really don't want to get into a debate about which one is the best warp core, because there's quite a lot out there already. This is another overlap with the Spire, where you can buy warp cores there or here, and the debate is the best ones come from your dilithium mine. Some say amp, some say deuterium warp cores are the best. Personally, the jury's still out for me. It's not something that I've got into heavily, but again, I'm open for comments and one thing or another, and we can come back and explore this avenue at a later date. So moving on, you can access your bank here. Now this is an interesting individual. Officer assignments. You can actually increase the capacity for your dilithium by an extra 500. So as you know, you're allowed 8,000 dilithium a day to refine. This will give you an extra 500. Now if you go to the academy, there's a chap there just outside where you go to the exchange and things, and you can get, I think he's a Vulcan, and I think you can get an extra 1,000 from him as well, but that's something we'll explore later on. So this chap here, duty officers, yeah, Horta miner. Not looked at these, so I don't know what they do. We'll come back to them, I should imagine, at a later date. Don't know what that chap does. What's this? So you can access the exchange here. Speak to Taylor. So what does he offer, this store? So you get a miner outfit here. Isn't that cool? Miner goggles, vest, shirt, gloves, belt, pants, hip. That's quite cool, isn't it? Yeah, you could all dress as miners. Right, and have we come full circle here? What's this one? So you can access your mail here. Right, so I've lost my bearings now. Where do I need to go? Right, so let's move down here. Now this is another important place to come, because this is where you can actually mine your dilithium from. We're not going to do mining dilithium today because it can be quite a long, as if this one isn't a long review anyway, or an overview. Anyway, so come over here, talk to the miner shift manager, and this is where you sign up to mine your dilithium. Don't forget, you'll need an environmental suit, which you can actually buy in the dilithium store. EV suits, there you go. Or you can pick some up off the exchange. It's entirely up to you. You can pick up a basic one there. There's quite a lot going around. Don't forget, when you are part of a fleet, you must participate. You must put into the fleet in order to draw from it, because there are limited resources. So when you eventually qualify to use your fleet holdings, you'll be asked to participate in your fleet in order to reach a sufficient standard, a sufficient contribution standard, in order to draw from that fleet. And that's the reason why, because there's limited resources, and if everybody came into a fleet and were allowed to just draw from the well, there'd be nothing left for anybody. So you must contribute. If you want to draw from the well, you've got to put something in. So don't forget, being in a fleet is not about taking, it's about participating, putting in, and then you can draw on the bigger things. So I just wanted to emphasize that, because a lot of people who I've dealt with in the past have just joined fleets and just taken everything, and I don't think that's a really good way to go. Anyhow, moving on. What's this chap? Requisition space equipment. Ah, here we go. This is quite cool, isn't it? Neutronium alloys, kinetic consoles, RCS accelerators, increase the starship maximum hit points. Quite like the sound of that. Hull capacity. Yeah. So again, these are other consoles that you could use to improve your ship. Don't think there's any other areas really to explore here now, really. Oh. Right, so take turbo lift to second floor. Let's go and have a look there, shall we? Now this, I have to say, is the first time I've been to the second floor in the dilithium mine, so this is new to me, so please bear with me, because I haven't the faintest idea what is up here, but I thought while we're here I'd have a look. Oh, this is quite cool, isn't it? This is really cool. Oh yes. So if you want some peace and quiet, you could come up here, couldn't you? Oh yeah, quite like this. This is the first time I've ever been up here, so yes, really impressed with that. Yes. Hello there, person with rather large ears. How's it going? So good, eh? Right, okay, right. So enough of that. Enough of all the chit chat. Let's move on to our next stop, which is going to be the colony, fleet colony. So what I'm going to do there, I'm going to meet you there as well, because I've got to do more messing about now. I've got to actually go back to my fleet base, because I don't think it allows me to go directly to the fleet colony. Let's have a look. No, it doesn't, so I'm going to have to go back to fleet starbase and then from there see if I can get to the colony. If not, I'll work it out somehow. So I shall see you in just a moment. So here we are on our final whistle stop tour of fleet holdings, and we're at our fleet colony. And my, this is impressive, isn't it? So I'll briefly take you round and show you where you can acquire some decent pieces of kit. So here you have access to your fleet bank. There you go. Click on it. There it all is. What's this? So you've got access to your mail. Now again, it's very rare I come here actually, so I'm a little bit unfamiliar, so please forgive me. I'm going to have to resort very heavily to my map. So let's have a quick look around. Now I do know up here first floor. Here we go. So you can purchase stuff from your tailor. So what do they have in store? Drano Colony Worker Outfit. Wow, that looks quite cool, doesn't it? Moving on to these two chappies. Space equipment. So here we go. This is another overlap, so you can get your Elite Fleet Isolated Protomatter Warp Core, Singularity Warp Cores, Deflectors. I have heard actually that Colony Elite Fleet deflectors are some of the best in the game. But again, I'm not going to get into all of that because I've not done any reading on it. It's just some bits and pieces that I pick up on chat channels. But anyhow, shields, engines, projectile weapons, energy weapons, damage times 3 proc. Oh, that's quite cool, isn't it? I wonder what these are. Protomaterimetric infuser, 31.9 phaser damage, projectile weapon damage. See, that's quite a cool console to have. I don't think we've reached the required tiers to get that just yet. Let's just have a look, see what happens. Alright, you must reach tier 5 and renewable energies for your colony world in order to purchase this item. Okay, so I think my fleet, we're working towards that. Yes, there you go. We're working towards that in my fleet. Colony world morale, colony world XP, renewable. So we're getting very close to completing that actually. So yes, once we complete that, we'll be open to buy some more stuff. And this is where you make your deposits look. So as you can see, provisions, the lithium. See, I haven't got a lot of dilithium, but what we'll do is I'll put half of what I've got in there. And that should move up, but it hasn't done, but it will do eventually. Go back in. Put a little bit more and see if it moves it. Yeah, there you go, look. And what happens there, of course, is when you put anything into your colony, you get fleet credits for it. So it tells you how many fleet credits you get. As this is a relatively new fleet that I've joined, I've been throwing as much as I can into it to try and help it out. Your fleet marks, I believe for every mark you put in, I think you get 50 fleet credits. So fleet marks are quite a cool way of raising fleet credits. Anyhow, so let's go to this one here, ground equipment store. So what we've got here, polyweave armor. Well, that's quite cool, isn't it? I shall have to look at that, because that could be something I could buy for my crew. Yeah, I'll come back to that. Shields, pistols, rifles, phaser split beam rifle, damage times 2, assaults, kit frames. So as you can see, there's quite a diverse. Oh, this is interesting. What's this one? Regenerative invigoration. There you go. You see, I'm getting all into the shopping thing there, aren't I? I've got to resist. Got to resist the urge. Right. So let's move around. Let's see what else there is. Who's this? Science officer. All right. So we can look into various projects. Is anybody else around here? What's this? This looks interesting. Acquire, collect batteries mission. Oh, right, okay. come back to that one as well. Is there anything else around here we need to look at? No, oh, it's taking us back down to the bottom tier, hasn't it? Who's this person here? Quartermaster. Collect luxuries. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, well, don't need that just yet. Just trying to see what we can pick up. So again, very sorry about this because, as I say, I haven't explored this particular fleet holding in detail, so really didn't know what was here. So, oh, anyway. Bartender. Yeah, oh, there we go. That's cool, isn't it? Yeah, nice little view there. So let's go up a flight and see what's here. So let's just take a quick look at this map, see what I'm doing, because I haven't the foggiest idea where I'm going. So we've got exchange officer, repair officer, medical officer, recruitment officer, ship customization officer, ship selector. Right, so okay, so we won't go racing around all over this fleet holding, because I'm sure you could be able to find these yourselves. But as you can see, there we go. What was this one? Yep, military briefing. There we go. As you can see, there's more to being in the fleet than just buying fleet ships, consoles and weapons and the like. This looks a very busy place, doesn't it? Yeah, very, very busy place. And the best bit about this on the colony that I found is you can have a little bit of R&R. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this brief overview of fleet holdings and the benefit of being part of a fleet. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is not by any stretch of the imagination a comprehensive overview of fleet holdings, and I didn't want to get it too much into detail of consoles, which one is the best console for warp cores, fleet spy, your colony, or your dilithium mine warp cores. I didn't want to venture into those areas. However, if people come back to me with interest on what they would like me to look into, I'll quite happily research those, and we'll revisit those issues on consoles and warp cores or whatever. Again, in the fleet base, we didn't go into great depth in the fleet base. There's another couple of flaws in there that we needed to look at, but as you can appreciate, this overview has been an extensively long overview, hasn't it? So I apologise for the long nature of it, but I just thought it'd be interesting to do a brief overview of all the fleet holdings. If I've missed anything, by all means make comments, let me know, and I'll come back and we will have another look at them and see what the best consoles and warp cores and etc. are, or kits. But the best thing I do like about this colony is its R&R, and to that end I'm going to enjoy myself. Right, so I've got my beach gear on, I've got my surfboard. Let's go for a quick surf. Well, on that note, while I enjoy myself, hope you have a super day, and until next time, this is JeSter signing off.